Welcome in, everyone. Hope your 2026 is going well. I want to do a quick video talking about the 12 game buying challenge that I did last year and how it went and what I thought about it and just stuff in general. Go over what games I bought, how much I spent. Quickly, I stuck to 12 games. And actually, if I had not included the 3 games that I traded for, I would have been under 12. So, but I included those because I was going to buy them. Like, there was no question in my mind about that. But we'll run down the games really quick. Starting off at the beginning of the year, I picked up 3 games for $20 on Xbox, and that was before I had settled on a number of games. So that was Lonely Mountain Downhill, Mobius Machine, and Mars 2120. And that was, Mobius Machine was for the Xbox Series, and the other 2 were Xbox One and Xbox Series. So those 3 games were $20. I beat Mobius Machine and Mars 2120 in February. And had lots of fun with those. Enjoyed it. Next game I picked up was Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Loved the first game. After playing it, and going through the single player campaign, I would have been okay with waiting a little bit longer because I didn't do a ton of multiplayer, which I might go back to it. But I beat that the end of May. But I paid $67.50. That was roughly with tax and stuff. It was one of the editions that came with some extra stuff. But the single player campaign was a little bit too short. I liked the controls from the original a little bit better. So, I mean, that is what it is. But that was digital as well. But I picked that up on a sale. The next one I picked up was Silver for the Dreamcast. It was complete. It was $40. Obviously physical because, not really a digital storefront for the Dreamcast. I started playing that. And it took a little bit to get into, but I was enjoying it. I'm looking forward to getting back to it, and I think that's when I'll beat this year. These next 3 games I traded for: Super Mario Odyssey, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, and Metroid Prime 4. And actually, the Metroid Prime 4 was a pre-order because I traded all 3 of those at CG. I started Super Mario Odyssey. Need to get back to it. We moved the Switch into the bedroom, and I just don't play the Switch much in there. Prin does some. I need to bring it back in the office, and I think I'll get a little bit more playtime in it and hopefully beat that. I don't remember. I think I got to a little bit past the second crash point for the hat ship. Not sure how far that is into it. Hyrule Warriors, I definitely want to play that. Prime 4, the local retro shop has had trouble getting deliveries for some of the new games, and unfortunately, that's one of them. So I think I'm going to cancel that pre-order, and because of all of what I've heard, and because it's been over a month now, I'm kind of like, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll pick up a used copy sometime in the future. Maybe I'll find one at Southeast Game Exchange this year. But I'm thinking of talking to the guys at the store about, hey, put the credit back on my account and find some games that are in that $60 price point, but try to find the best games for systems I've got, and do a video on that. I think that could be interesting. See if there's a couple of the people there that would be willing to do that. Several of them I've spoken with a lot, so they might know excuse me, a couple of either one game for $60 or 2 or 3 games for a total of $60. I think I might do that and see what they come up with, and maybe even see if there's something fun that we could do with that. The next game I picked up was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. think Dragon Ball Z is great. And when I saw that you could basically play through the show, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I'm up to the point in that. Oh, crud. What is it? I think I just beat Vegeta for the first time. So I don't know how far into it. I'm pretty sure it goes through the Cell Saga. I don't know if it goes into the Boo Saga, but we'll see. But I picked that up for the Xbox Series digitally. It was $15. Thought that was a great deal. I don't think I mentioned Mario Odyssey was $34, Hyrule Warriors AOC was $35, and Prime 4 was $60. Then I picked up a game on the PC called Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. So much fun. I love the Survivor style games. It's just interesting. They all seem to have like an interesting twist on the Survivor series, and like that genre just seems like it's a huge breath of fresh air. It's great. Next one I pick up is actually a game that I backed on Kickstarter, so I won't get that until sometime this year, but I bought it last year, so I included it in the challenge. Because I actually got some Kickstarter games that I backed in 2024, like Demon Claw, which I haven't even played yet. Need to do that. But then the final game I got, which really irritated with Amazon because it took way longer than it should have to get this, because it released on the 10th. But after talking with some people at Really Red Weekend, and actually it was Retro Wolf and RNG Gamer and some other people, but they did a panel, and there were some people in there, when we were talking, they talked about this game, and like this was what I was interested in. And then when I found out that it was a turn-based RPG, that was like 2 checks against it. And like I'd heard really good things about it. Like I said, before I found out it was a turn-based RPG, I was like, this game looks really neat. It looks, it looks like a good game, and looks like it plays well. And then it's like, oh no, turn-based. But because I've heard such good things, I said Retro Wolf, RNG Gamer, and some other people in that panel spoke so highly of the game. I was like, you know what? I will give it a shot. And so, I looked, and there was no used copies at the convention there. But I looked and was like, oh, Amazon's releasing a special edition in December on the 10th. So, I'll get that one. So basically, I pre-ordered that one. It released on the 10th. It was, what was it? It was the last week in December, I think, when I got it. Like, it did not ship for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and no rhyme or reason for that. And there was an issue with payment, which is weird because for Amazon, I use an Amazon credit card, and probably shortly after Christmas, there was an issue with payment. I don't know what happened, what was up with that, but I've got that all squared away. And then still, it was a couple days after that it finally shipped, and it actually got to me in like 3 days. I don't know, but I didn't even mention. So the game is Clair Obscura Expedition 33. This is the Mirror Edition, but like I said, I just had heard such great things about it. I was like, I'll go ahead and pick one up. And then I was like, oh, well, they got the special edition. Go ahead and grab that. I think there's supposed to be some special cards in here and a steel book. I don't know other than that, but looking forward to playing that. I'll probably play this some on stream, just because of, I was looking forward to it, and then interest went, meh. And then my interest has peaked again because so many people spoke so highly of it. And actually, I kind of thought that, I was like, oh, if I get this game, this will probably be my game of 2025. But I didn't get it in time to play it, because I didn't want to open it and only play it for a couple days. I want to play it and get through it. And I didn't think like that'd be a fair shake for 2025. So I focused on beating some other games for 2025. The total I spent was $414.50, which I should probably figure out what is the average of that. So the average of that is $34.54. It'd be even less if you don't count the trades. But again, because I was going to buy those anyways, if you take the $60 off though for Metroid Prime 4 that I'm not going to be getting, I guess, it takes it down to basically $30 average, which isn't bad. This year, I am not planning on doing a 12 game challenge because it was cool and it's really failed to push at the same time, but it really made me look and think about the games that I picked up. And I can say, except for maybe the first 3, because I hadn't chosen it, but I had a lot of fun with Mobius Machine and Mars 2120, and I kind of want to go back and beat Mobius Machine again. Both of those are Metroid style games, or Metroidvania, and Mobius Machine I think was done really well. But even Lonely Mountain Downhill, like, I don't know if I'll ever beat that, but it's fun to get on there and you're trying to get the bike down the hill and you crash a lot and there's some fun deaths. It kind of gets irritating sometimes, but like all of the games that I picked up, I can say I am happy I have them in my collection, whether it's physically or digitally, so 6 of the games I bought, 6 of the 12 were digital. But I'm happy with all the games I got. But like there were several times it was like, okay, do I really want this game to take up a spot in the 12 game collection? I had 4 games for the Mark III sitting in my eBay cart for 4 or 5 months, and eventually saved them for later, and they still haven't sold. So just about all of 2025, they didn't sell. I might need to reach out to the guy and be like, hey, what are you willing to do with these? You've had them for a while. The biggest and the toughest one was there was a humble bundle of Earth Defense Force games. And I didn't look at it too much, but I think it was like 4 or 5 of the Earth Defense games that are in that series. It was all for the PC, but I don't think I had any of them, or it may have included EDF 4.1, which is 2025 on the Xbox 360. But that one was just like, oh my gosh. I love the EDF series, at least 2017 and 2025, or 4.1. And that really stunk. Like, I really struggled with that one. But again, I didn't look at it very much because I knew it was going to be difficult to not pick that up. And just like, looking back, I kind of wish that I had gotten it. Like I said, it would have been 4 or 5 games. But I would have had a lot of fun with those games. But this challenge really made me think about the games that I picked up. And so all of them, outside of maybe 40K Space Marine 2, like I was really looking forward to that, and that was a bit of a letdown. But that was because I'm also trying to beat a game on so many different consoles with the challenge I do, which will be another video. But I didn't spend a lot of time with the multiplayer. The single player campaign was only, we'll say, 7 or 8 hours it took me. So not really long. And again, I enjoyed how the first 40K Space Marine handled better. Or I enjoyed it more on how it handled. But Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I'm looking forward to playing that more. Galactic Survivor, I've already played that 2 or 3 days ago. Got some more gear for my my dwarves. Looking forward to Clair Obscur, Maiden of the Dark. That'll come in sometime this year. Oh, Clair Obscur and Maiden of the Dark were about $65. and I think that includes shipping for Maiden of the Dark. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors, Mario Odyssey, Silver. Looking forward to all of those. So I picked really good games. I've only beat 3 of them at the moment, and I beat 26 games for the entire year. But I also removed 76 games from the collection, mostly GameCube games. But that was, I actually still need to go through and check my collection to it. But it's a really good way to start to try to make sure that you're focusing on games that you want and games that you want to play. Like, I want to play all the games that I picked up, and actually I've played a good number of them for more than an hour or two. Excluding the last 2, Clair Obscur and Maiden of the Dark, because just got Clair Obscur, and Maiden of the Dark I'll get sometime this year, and I'll stream. I think I'm gonna stream both of those, and Maiden of the Dark, at least I think I'll stream that until I complete it. But I'd love to stream some Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity also. But yeah, that's the 12 games that I got, $414. If you include Prime, $34 average. If you don't include Prime, because I'm probably not actually gonna pick it up now, $354 and $30 on average. And removed a good chunk of games, beat a decent amount. I'm hoping to beat totally separate video, but got a plan for this year, special year, because the Master System's turning 40. So need to do a video with that for that. But yeah, that's the 12 game challenge. Like I said, not going to do that again this year. I'm still trying to figure out, do I want to do some kind of a number limit? Like do the total that I can spend, that's $360, because that's what a year of Game Pass, if you paid for every month, would cost. And it's like, okay, what games can you get for what a year of Game Pass would get you? Knowing that, I think there's over 75 games that are supposed to come out for Game Pass Ultimate. I might do that, or I might just do that as part of a challenge. It's like, all right, the first $360 I spend, what would it be? But I'm gonna keep like an eye on what am I going to spend my money on. What do I want to actually play? And I have already picked up 2 games this year. It was games that were both on sale digitally for Xbox. One was Blood Knight. It was 99 cents. I think it was about $1.05 with taxes. I was like, you know what? That'll be a fun for a few hours. Cool. There's a Terminator Resistance that was about $10.59, somewhere around there after taxes. It might have been closer to $11. But those are both games I'm looking forward to playing through. I'm planning on beating them both. So hopefully I get a little bit more time and I can focus on playing some games some. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was a cool challenge, but it was also a rough challenge, because I go into the local retro shop and I look around. I'm like, oh, do I want this one? And I'd be in there for an hour or two, partly because I was talking with the guys there, and partly because like I was really thinking, okay, what am I going to pick up if I pick up anything? Because I had trade credit, but I spent a good chunk of the trade credit picking up Skylanders for the Munchkin and Ice collection. I don't think I'm going to do like I said, not going to do the 12 game challenge again this year, but I'm still trying to like laser focus. These are games that I want. These are games that I'm going to play. I don't want a bunch of fluff in my collection that's just going to take up space, and I don't have any achievement. Don't have any real desire to play it. But how about y'all? Would you think of doing any kind of a challenge like this, or would you, or any way of limiting yourself on the number of games you can buy, either by dollar amount or the number? I mean, it's easily doable, and like I'm hoping that I don't think I'll be picking up 40 or 50 games. Actually, hoping to probably get rid of that number, shrink the collection a little bit more. Not only the game collection, but some of the Lego, some of the action figures and other toys. The gold ring stays, but yeah. Appreciate everyone watching. Hope everyone, like I said, is having a good beginning of their 2026. But everybody, take care, have fun, be kind of one another, stay safe, keep it retro or 360. God bless, and we will catch you all later. Bye. Ah.